Today, we're going to introduce ourselves, allow you all to get to know us a little bit more. For those that we have not gotten the opportunity to meet, we're going to talk about our vision and priority areas, things that we really want to capitalize on throughout this school year, different ways that you all can engage with us or your students can engage. We're going to discuss some college and career platforms that we think are really great resources for our students to use. We'll talk about upcoming events in which you all will get an opportunity to pre-register for. So that's a perk of being here tonight. And then we'll give an opportunity for you all to ask us any questions and provide you with those answers. I am Jordan Troutman. I am the career planning lead with the College and Career Specialist team. I work mostly with juniors and seniors that are looking to go into the workforce after graduating high school through or going into the technical college, into the military, any option aside from the traditional four-year college enrollment. If your child is looking to do an apprenticeship program, or if they're undecided about what they want to do, I work with those students in ensuring that they know what their options are and go into a pathway that fits their needs.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kayla Walker, and I'm also a college and career specialist with the Newton County School System, but I focus specifically on college planning for 11th and 12th graders that are going into those traditional four-year college routes. So if your student is looking at pursuing a bachelor's degree, that's the area that I do focus on. I focus on everything from college exploration, the college application process, admission requirements, financial aid, scholarships, college visits, college decisions, the FAFSA, all of that stuff combined. And I also work really closely with all of the college advisors at each of the base schools. And so before Mr. Woodall introduces himself, I will briefly mention that we are the district college and career team, but we also have college advisors at all of the base schools. Those college advisors are highlighted at the bottom of this screen, but we also have their Remind accounts right beside their name. So if you're interested in getting added to their Remind accounts to find out about college and career information specifically from the college advisors and from our team, please make sure to add their information to your Remind accounts.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Stephen Woodall, and I serve as the early planning and partnerships lead for the College and Career Specialist team. My focus is with students that are in middle school, as well as grades 9 and 10. Very happy to see we have some 10th graders in attendance, or parents of 10th graders. So it's actually a very busy time for us now. We'll discuss a little bit later some of the things that we are sharing with specifically our 9th and 10th graders. But I had the opportunity to work with them with getting started early, identifying college options, career options, working with students in terms of aligning their course selections with their potential college and career options, but also have the privilege of helping to facilitate a lot of our partnerships. We have partnerships with our local higher education institutions. We have a partnership with Oxford College where we provide a summer experience. I actually think I see a couple of our summer experience participants in the chat. In addition, we also have a partnership with Georgia State University. And this is part of what we'll talk about as a part of our immersion experiences, where we're just giving students the opportunity to, at an early state or early stage, engage with exploring college and career options so that they can find their best fit pathway. You're on mute, Ms. Troutman.
Thank you. For the College and Career Readiness team, our vision is to ensure that all NCS students have a good fit, meaningful career after 5 years post-graduation. And we broke that down into 5 priority areas that we are working to accomplish. And so the first priority area being the best fit pathway. So just making sure that students are armed with the knowledge and resources to go into the pathway that fits them best. We know that college is an option, but it's not the best fit for every student. And so just making sure that whatever that looks like, whatever that pathway to success is, that students are aware of how to get there. Our second priority area is the application and admissions process. So this can include all the admissions process for college planning, such as essay writing, and completing that application, those admission requirements within the deadline. And then application processes, mock interviews, resume prep for students that are looking to go into the workforce. For our third priority area, our financial planning. This includes financial literacy and knowing your financial aid options, as well as scholarships, because we know that financial planning is a very prevalent barrier that students face when enrolling into college. And then our priority area 4 are essential competencies. So just ensuring that students are aware of the basic foundations, those interpersonal skills needed to transition into those post-secondary goals. And finally, our fifth priority area are those immersion experiences that Mr. Woodall spoke about, providing exposure and awareness to our students for those different categories and pathways that you're going to hear us talk a lot about. We are really wanting to push or create a college and career readiness culture throughout the district, making sure that students are aware of what their opportunities are, and given the opportunity to explore those different pathways. So that's where our immersion experiences include. And do you all want to add anything, Walker, Woodall?
No, you're good. And I would love for you, or we would love for you, to join us on our social platforms. We do a host of events, many of which you will get a very detailed listing towards the end of the webinar. But to stay abreast of everything that we're doing to support your students throughout the school year, not just for event specific purposes, but for scholarship tips. Sometimes there are third party partners that we post very helpful tips for college and career planning and exploration on our social channels. Please follow us on Instagram and on X or Twitter, whatever your preference is to call it. But that is where you can stay informed, up to date by the minute on a lot of the activities and events that we're doing. We also have a very, very robust website that Miss Kayla Walker very much helped design for us. But you can scan that QR code, or if you want to, depending on the device that you're on, if you want to just screenshot it, or just visit the website directly, which is newtonccr.com. Much of what we cover this evening will be listed in detail on the website. But I encourage you to visit the website. Not only will it allow you to get some of the content that we discussed this evening, but it will also allow you to access us directly if you want to schedule an appointment with myself, Ms. Walker, or Ms. Troutman. Also, the events that we will talk about towards the end of the webinar, as I just mentioned, it will allow you to find one central hub where you can take or see a complete listing of the events, as well as you can register for those events as well. So very helpful website. We hope that you'll join us and take some time to explore it.
So the first thing we want to talk about when we're deciding on, when we're assisting students with identifying their best fit pathway, U-Science is a platform that we utilize. And it's a series of brain games that allow students to determine their best fit pathway based on their aptitude and their interests. So it kind of allows students to go through a series of games, brain games, as they call them. And through that, the results yield a set of careers that students would be best fit for based on their aptitude, their interest, and then overall. So what is their innate ability? What talents were they just naturally born with? And then what interests them? What strikes their curiosity? And then it combines those two and provides a plethora of careers that a student can go into based on those interests and aptitudes. And it's a very good assessment. I've taken it myself, and I was very surprised with the results because almost every career that I've held um, was listed within the top 5 of the results. So I really think it's a really great platform. It's utilized throughout the district, and so students will take the U Science assessment in 8th grade. And then they'll take it again in 10th grade. So by the time they're a junior and senior, they have those results to rely on if they're undecided about what they want to do, or if they're not sure. Some students come to us knowing they want to go into the medical field, but they're not sure what aspect of the medical field they want to go into. And I always refer to their U Science results. To access those results or that test, students can go into their Infinite Campus and open their Launchpad. They open their Launchpad and go into Infinite Campus. They can click on More in the lower left column and then click on the SLDS portal. From there, it will take them to their career plan and allow them to open the U Science. Once they open that, it'll give them an option to select their best fit careers. And from there, it will show them a page that looks very similar to this. And so this will show the careers. If you see at the top where it says overall aptitude and interest, and then so that is the breakdown of the distinguishing categories. And there are also ratings that determine, is it a strong overall fit, is it a good overall fit, or a great overall fit, or a fair overall fit. So I always encourage students to take a look at their U Science. If you want to take a picture of this screen or screenshot it, if you're using a mobile device, so that you and your child can review those U Science results. If they are currently in the 10th grade, they may have not taken it just yet, but it is something that the school counselors will be working with them to complete. If you want to get a head start on it, that is more than welcome. I think they would actually appreciate it. But we really encourage all of our students to get this completed within that 8th and 10th grade year, so that we can utilize it as a tool as they matriculate throughout high school.
All right, it's my turn. So I want to talk to you very, very briefly about another platform that your students have available to them that is accessible via Launchpad. And this is a platform called SCORE. It is a very, very robust college as well as career exploration and planning platform. So for the current 10th graders, I saw some 10th grade parents as well as some 11th grade parents. We will be spending essentially the entire year collaborating with a lot of the grade level teachers to help students get their accounts established and help students explore this platform. The platform can do a lot more than just help them build a college list or even explore different careers that they're interested in. But by building out a profile, building out a list of activities, updating a personal statement over the course of their sophomore, junior, or even freshman, sophomore, junior, up to their senior year, it essentially allows them to build a resume that they can currently update, adding their test scores, their GPA. It's a very, very robust platform that helps students stay organized. There's a lot of features in SCORE, but just to let you know specifically, we are currently collaborating with teachers throughout the district, helping students establish, activate their accounts, explore the platforms, all of the features. And the great thing is that you can stay on top of everything that they're doing and everything that they're updating in the SCORE platform. If you want to take a screenshot, or if you're on a mobile device, to scan the QR code for a parent account, because you are also able to follow your student and all of the information and content that they're adding in SCORE. So it's a great, robust tool that if you have any specific questions about it, I am going to drop a link that you can kind of check out, and it will send a video to you so you can see it in action.
All right, so now on the screen, we have a list of college application platforms. And so a lot of times when I'm working with students, they ask, what are the best places to submit college applications? And so, of course, I don't have it listed on here, but you can go directly to the college's websites to submit applications. But these are some websites that make the process a little bit easier. And so the Common App, most of these, but the Common App specifically, is a place that you can develop an application, and it sounds exactly what the name is, a Common App. So you fill out an intensive college application, but you fill it out one time. And then you can do different college searches. You can create different little matched games that connect students to different colleges that they're looking for, maybe colleges that they weren't expecting that they were going to apply for, and they can submit that one Common App. And so it gives a student an opportunity to submit applications, but not having to repeat the same information over and over again. And it's actually preferred by a lot of colleges. I actually worked in college admissions for 10 years, and the Common Application is really encouraged through higher education. But there are some schools that are not on Common App. So if they are not on Common App, I encourage you to look at one of the other websites listed here, or go directly to the college website specifically. In general, too, Dr. Woodall, he mentioned SCORE previously, and so the students can apply through SCORE, but they can also apply for free through the month of November on Georgia Futures. So the state of Georgia has applied a college month in the month of November, where they waive all college application fees, and students are encouraged to apply via Georgia Futures to receive those free fee waivers. So our team will actually be hosting a lot of application events, and we will specifically have a college application night that if you do have seniors, you can sign them up for that night. They can come, you can come with them, and they can come and sit down and do college applications for the whole evening with us, and we can supply fee waivers and help them through that process. So this slide is called Going Merry, and this is about a scholarship platform that we encourage all of our students to create profiles on. And this is a wonderful website because you can also create profiles as parents. And the reason why we encourage a lot of our students to create profiles on Going Merry is because you fill out information about yourself and things that you're interested in, things that you have experience in, and this website will match you with scholarships that you are a good fit for. So it kind of does a little bit of work for the students, and so it gives students a list of scholarships that they recommend that they submit applications for. And this website works very similarly to the Common Application, but for scholarships. So students fill out a lot of background information about themselves. They can fill out information about things that they've done, volunteer hours, sports, work, experience in high school and middle school, all of the above. And it will actually apply all of that information to multiple scholarship applications. And also, what's great about this is that students can look for national scholarships as well as local scholarships specifically to Newton County. And so it provides students with a dashboard, it keeps them organized, and they can also see, applications that they need to work on. But the good thing about it too is that we have a district account, and so we can look to see what students are applying for scholarships. And then also we can see if there are local scholarships that don't have a lot of applications, and we can push those to the schools. So this is a great platform for the students to use, parents to use, and for us as the district college and career staff. One important thing that I would like to note for parents and guardians, if you create accounts, one cool feature on here is that you can actually send scholarships to your students that you recommend that they apply for. So not only can your student look for scholarships, but you as the parent or guardian can send them scholarships that you want them to apply for.
So the next platform I want to share with you all is called Pathful. It used to be Virtual Job Shadow, but it's merged with Pathful. And this is a career exploration platform. It allows students to research various careers, research and find out information on the job outlook, some of the duties and responsibilities of that position, average salary, and it even links them to local opportunities here within the state of Georgia if they're looking to go right into the workforce after graduating high school. They can access Pathful through their Launchpad. And it also allows them to do resume building, complete job applications, cover letters. There are resources for students to be able to complete career readiness workshops and activities, answering mock interview questions, a plethora of things that allows a student to prepare for the workforce. I encourage students to utilize Pathful, especially if they're still browsing what they want to do. While doing so, they can save their top careers and go back to them later, identify the education for them, and Pathful can link them to colleges that offers the particular program of study that they need in order to reach that career goal. So I think it's a really good tool for all students to utilize as they're exploring different career options. There was something else I was going to mention about Pathful as well. But yeah.
Okay, so some of you may have heard about this program. It's a new program that launched last year from the state of Georgia, and it's happening again this year. Your students, if you are a senior parent, you will find out about this in the month of October. But if you're not a senior parent, you can look forward to this because this is a great opportunity that the state of Georgia has launched. So the program is called the Georgia Match Program, and basically the state of Georgia went to all of the public colleges and universities and the technical colleges and said, hey, give me a GPA that you are comfortable with automatically accepting students with that GPA. And so they have submitted all of those GPAs that they are comfortable with automatically accepting students for. And so what this has done has allowed Georgia Futures to create a Georgia match list for all students in the state of Georgia. And so when they're going on either their Georgia Futures account, which you on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see gafutures.org is the website that your student needs to create an account for. But when they go on this account, they're going to have a dashboard that they can click on and they can see a list of schools in the state of Georgia that they can automatically get accepted to. And a great feature about this is that it's a wide variety of schools. There's only a handful of colleges like Georgia Tech and UGA that are not involved in this program. But other than that, most public colleges, technical and public universities and colleges are included in this. And so a student can go on that list, and any school that's listed on their list, they can claim their spot up to 2 schools, and they will be guaranteed 100% to get an acceptance letter from that school. And so I've told students to take this as an opportunity in multiple ways. So they can take this as a way to guarantee that they're going to get accepted into a college that they really want to go to. So maybe those top schools are on their Georgia Match list, and that can take the stress out of the application process and worrying about if they're going to get accepted. Or they can use it as backup options. So if they have some, more competitive schools that they're applying to that are not on the Georgia Match list, then they can go ahead and claim their spot at 2 schools that might be a safety option for them. And also a great feature of this is that there are some college access colleges on here. So access colleges are colleges that require you to graduate high school to be able to get accepted in there, or they may have a little bit lower GPA. So that's why they are able to claim every single student in the state will get a list of schools that they are automatically accepted to. And so our team are here to help you go through that process. If your student is interested in that, please let us know or let their college advisor know. This will launch in October, but for the students that claim their spot, they will have to submit an application. So basically they'll go on there, they claim their spot at the 2 schools that they want, and then they go through the application process. But this is something for you to be on the lookout for because it is a great opportunity for our students in Georgia.
So we want to talk a little bit about the upcoming events that we have. All 3 of us are always in the classrooms conducting classroom presentations, obtaining data from the students and information as far as what their interests are. And so we try to provide programming that allows us to reach our vision and touch on our priority areas, but also that students are interested in. And so the first event that's on here is the Parent College and Career webinar. And then Kayla, if you want to talk a little bit about the HBCU panel and our Probe College Fair.
Yeah, so as Ms. Troutman said, we host a lot of college and career readiness events throughout the year, and I encourage parents, students, guardians to look back at our event websites because it's a very fluid list. We're constantly adding to programming throughout the year. But the first couple ones that are coming up in the month of September, one is the HBCU panel and roundtable tour. So we reached out to HBCUs and we've had a couple of them register to come to each of our not our base schools, actually all of our schools, including the College and Career Academy. And we're going to get to host them for 1 hour. Students register for that event and they get to ask the HBCUs admissions questions, scholarship questions, experience questions. We're also going to have a scholarship foundation specifically for HBCUs present. So if you are a senior parent on here and you would like your student to attend that or they're interested, we are actually closing registration for that at midnight. So they still have time to register for that, but registration will close at midnight. So we have enough time to get passes out tomorrow for that event. On the 18th, you may have heard about this event, the Newton County Schools Probe College Fair. This is a great opportunity for any age group. So every single parent and guardian and student that's on this webinar, we encourage you to come to that. And we are lucky enough to host the Georgia Probe College Tour. And this is a tour throughout the entire state that hosts college and universities, not just from the state of Georgia, but from all over the United States. And we already have 60 colleges that will be here on September the 18th. They are registered for that. And we have almost 600 students that are registered to attend. So if you don't know if your student's registered, I encourage you to go ahead and go through that registration process. The reason why we encourage registration is not that it's required to attend, but when students register, they are given a personalized QR code. And what they do with that QR code is when they come to this event, it's a very overwhelming event. 60 colleges is a lot of colleges to go around and talk to and write out request more information cards. So they can take that QR code, go up to the tables of these admission representatives and ask them to scan their QR code. And that will send their information directly to the college admissions office and let them know that they are interested in receiving more information or they're interested in actually applying. And on September 24th, we are hosting our first college tour of the fall, Georgia Gwinnett College Tour. That registration is open. And so one thing I would like to mention, you might see there are several college tours listed out throughout the fall. We are adding those frequently, but one important thing to note is that when they are district college tours or district industry tours held by either any of us, students are allowed to go on one of those a year. And the only reason why that we have that stipulation is because typically we are very limited with the colleges. They usually limit us to bring between 50 and 60 students at maximum. And so when we're getting registrations from all 4 schools, we have to make sure that it's fair for students to be able to attend. So I always encourage students, make sure you look at the list and pick your favorite school to come to. Registration is limited. So if a student's interested in going to a certain tour, make sure that they're registering as soon as that they see that advertised by the college advisor.
On October 3rd, at the Newton College and Career Academy, there is going to be an Engineer Fest. This is the second year that they've hosted the Engineer Fest, and it's basically like a festival, a family fun night that allows students to explore different local career opportunities that will allow students to go into engineering. We have industries that come, they bring interactive equipment and things that students can actually touch and feel and immerse themselves in to see what engineering is like. If your child is interested in anything engineering, technicians, robotics, this is definitely the event that they want to be at. It was a very successful event last year. And I think that, I hope that this year it's the same, and that's hosted at the Career Academy. The registration for the Engineer Fest is on our website, newtonccr.com. On October 15th, we'll be going on our first technical college tour of the school year to Gwinnett Tech. I selected Gwinnett Technical College because they offer a lot of the programs that our students are interested in. I'm curating that tour for students that are interested in culinary, sonography, cybersecurity, and automotive. So if your child is interested in any of those program areas or any of the program areas that Gwinnett Tech College offers, I recommend that you all scan the QR code here so that your child can pre-register. Also, I'm going to send out, if you're not able to scan this QR code, maybe you're utilizing your mobile device at this time, I'll send out the link for the pre-registration once the webinar ends. And if you're interested in going to any of the upcoming college tours, you can pre-register for those because the registration just hasn't opened yet, but we do want to give you all the opportunity to know about what we're doing and be able to secure a spot for those, because like Ms. Walker mentioned, it is very limited in how many we can bring. And for the technical colleges, it's a lot more limited because those schools tend to be a lot smaller. Um, I do want to mention that on November 20th, we are hosting an apprenticeship panel. If your child is interested in going into a school trade, I think this will be a good opportunity for them. An apprenticeship is an opportunity for a student to learn while they earn, is how I explain it to the students. They're able to work a full-time job and obtain their certification. So they are working and completing college coursework throughout the duration of the apprenticeship opportunity. They're earning a salary, and at the end of the apprenticeship, they are certified in the trade that they selected. So National Apprenticeship Week is the week of November 20th. So there'll be a lot more programming to come in regards to apprenticeships. So please stay tuned for that if it's something that you think would be a good fit for your child. Like Mr. Walker also stated, we're constantly adding new events to this list and to our programming throughout the year. So please, if you're following us on social media or visiting our website, you'll be able to see what's being put out, what events are coming up. Another thing is, if your child is following along with some of the events that we're hosting, I think that they'll be on the right trajectory towards college and career readiness. I think if they're attending, like the parents are attending the webinar tonight, the student goes on a college tour, if a student comes to our Funding Your Future night, if a student comes to the application night, they've literally gone through their exploration, they've learned about their financing options, and they've been able to complete their college application or application for technical college apprenticeships or the workforce. So if your students are staying involved in some of the activities that we're hosting, I think that gives them a better chance at being on a great trajectory towards their post-secondary success. And I skipped over October 15th. Ms. Walker, did you want to speak about the Funding Your Future night?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Troutman. So I'll briefly mention October 15th, the Funding Your Future Financial Aid Night. This is a wonderful opportunity, whether you're a senior family, 11th, 10th, 9th, I think it's always good for you to kind of get information underneath your belt so you feel empowered to make those decisions as your students are graduating high school and planning for the future. But we have a great opportunity that night. We're hosting a member of the Georgia Student Finance Commission here at Newton College and Career Academy, but it's a district-wide event, so all students are invited and their families, and they are going to be doing a comprehensive financial aid presentation on the Georgia financial aid. So think the Hope Scholarship, the Hope Grant programs. They're going to be going over the FAFSA, different forms and different types of financial aid. And so it's a great all-encompassing event for you to really get a foundation on those financial aid terms. But it's really pertinent, I think, for senior families to attend that night. We will also be inviting our local scholarship vendors, if they are available, to come and table and talk briefly about their scholarships. so your students can look forward to submitting those applications later on in the year.
So we do want to take a moment to allow you all to ask questions. I know we kind of covered a lot of different things tonight. There is also a survey that we would love if you all would take. We value your feedback, and we really want to make sure that we are providing the best information to you all and being resourceful. If you scan the QR code, you will be able to access the survey. And again, I can send that out as well after the webinar, but we do want to open the floor for questions. You can type it in the chat and we can respond, or unmute yourselves. I think someone asked about 11th graders applying to college. It's not too early. Students can apply to college as a part of the dual enrollment program at our local colleges and universities, is the response that Mr. Woodall gave. And to add to that, it's never too early to start exploring as well. I think there are a lot of different colleges and technical colleges that are out there. So just making sure that your child is going to the college that's the best fit for them and offers the program of study that they're looking for. The Gwinnett Technical College Tour does lead from the Career Academy. How we will structure that tour, students will go to their base schools and they will ride the bus from their base schools over to the Career Academy. When they arrive at the Career Academy, they will go into the Learning Commons and meet there. All of the instructions will also be listed on the registration form. Once the student registers, they'll get all of the instructions on how to kind of navigate that. Please start applying for
I'll
scholarships
tackle.
as soon as possible. Yesterday. It's never too early to begin applying for scholarships. For juniors applying to college, if you're interested in dual enrollment, then now would be the time. If not, it is okay to wait. I think it depends on the program that your student is wanting to go into, the school that they're hoping to get into. Have they taken the SAT or ACT, if that's something that they're looking to do. Ms. Walker, do you want to kind of speak a little bit to college admissions and early admissions and deadlines for college applications?
Yeah, of course. So for those that are looking at the college application process, if you're not doing the dual enrollment process, your student does need to wait until their senior year to submit those applications, because the admissions office will just kind of defer that application until they're a senior. But one thing and if you're not a senior parent, something to talk to your student about is deadlines and admission timelines. So students can apply to different timelines. So they can apply early action, early decision, and then they can also apply regular decision. And all of those terms have different meanings as far as deadline requirements. And some of those can also be, I guess I don't want to get too far in depth on this conversation, but they can have different requirements to those applications. So for example, if your student applies early decision, there's a term called binding. And so the student can only apply that way to one college or university. And if they get accepted through that admissions process, they have to go to that college or university. So it's a pretty serious process. But in general, just talk to your student and for you to look at different admission timelines and requirements. Colleges also have a thing called rolling admission. So if they don't have early action, early decision, or regular decision, they have a thing called rolling admissions. And that means that they can apply to college. They can submit their application throughout the year and they can complete the application throughout the year and they're going to get that decision. So there are many different ways students can submit applications, but I encourage students to either make appointments with us or their college advisor or counselor to discuss the best options for them, because it can also affect financial aid for students making those admissions decisions, or research on their own to try to figure out what admissions pathway that they're thinking about taking. In regards to scholarships, as Ms. Troutman said, we encourage students to start looking at scholarships as soon as possible. The earlier you're looking for scholarships, I will say the more that they are limited to students getting them awarded. Your senior year, obviously the gates are wide open, but I really encourage students after they finish their junior year. So basically the summer of their senior year, everything kind of the gates fly open for college admissions and scholarships. But encourage your students now, if they're not in the 12th grade, they can go ahead and start looking, because there are opportunities out there for them to apply for scholarships. There's just not as many. And one thing I will touch base on really briefly is the Hope Scholarship programs and the Hope Grant programs. If you're unfamiliar with this is funding opportunities through the state of Georgia. The Hope Scholarship is based off of GPA for the student. So if your student is looking at getting the Hope Scholarship, that is based off their academic classes. So their academic core classes. So you're thinking math, Englishes, sciences, social studies, foreign languages. That's the classes that's going to be calculated for that scholarship. And that's a scholarship the student does not have to apply for. They are automatically reviewed for that scholarship, but it is based off of GPA, and that GPA is a 3.0. That scholarship will cover about 90% of the student's tuition in a public college or university or a technical college. Now, if you are worried about your student's GPA reaching that 3.0, there is an option for them to get the Hope Grant, because that does not look at their GPA calculation in high school, but there are certain stipulations on program types. So certificates, diplomas in the technical college system are eligible for those programs. So just opening up that conversation, because I want everyone to know on here that there is a lot of funding opportunities in the state of Georgia. And there's also a lot of funding opportunities federally too, on the national level.
And Ms.
Right.
Walker,
So
someone asked about SAT, ACT prep being
before Ms.
available in the
Walker,
district.
yeah, before Ms. Walker speaks, I kind of want to touch on that really quickly, especially for the sophomore and the junior parents that are attending. So next month, your students that are in 10th grade will be taking the PSAT, and this may very well be applicable for students who are juniors and seniors as well. Students have taken it, or sophomores will be taking the PSAT in October, which will get them. It is a benchmark. It's an item that all 10th graders in Georgia have to take, so that they can see kind of where they stand from a college readiness benchmark vantage point. But after they complete the PSAT, students are able to create an account via College Board. And through that College Board account, they can link their PSAT results and create a Khan Academy account, which will provide them with the opportunity for some free test prep. Ms. Walker will touch on the test prep that she's facilitating throughout the district in just a sec. But for those sophomore and junior parents, I kind of wanted to let you know that there is, and actually Ms. Walker's prep is free, but there is free test prep that's available to the students via College Board. But not just the test prep, but the PSAT results also give them career indicators in terms of careers that they may be a good fit for. So I just wanted to get that little tidbit in for maybe the 9th and 10th grade parents that are on the line, as well as for the junior parents whose students may not have taken a look at their PSAT results. Those could still be helpful for you as you lead into preparing for the SAT in your junior or senior year.
Yeah, thank you for that, Mr. Woodall. Khan Academy through College Board is a wonderful test prep opportunity for students, and that's what we actually encourage students to participate in. But we are piloting an official SAT, ACT prep program right now. Actually, we're piloting it with a very small group of students, and we are hoping to bring it full force to the district. And so we will be hosting workshops and boot camps throughout the year. So please make sure your students look out for those opportunities, because they are very limited. Unfortunately, you can imagine something as intense as the SAT or the ACT when you're divulging in those topics and strategy. You can't do that to a large group of students. So those workshops are very small in number. They're usually about 25 or 30 students. So if your student is interested in those, please make sure that they register ahead of time. And right now in the pilot programs, the priority is given to seniors, but like I said, this is just the beginning. We are actually about to launch like a full SAT, ACT prep program that we're very excited about. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. And if you have feedback for me or things that you or your students are looking for in SAT or ACT prep, please let me know that as well, because we are in the middle of building that program and rolling it out this year.
And I haven't heard anyone or seen anyone mention military enlistment, but we do have the dates for the ASVAB testing. If any of your students are interested in taking the ASVAB at Alcovy, it will be on September 27th. At Eastside, it will be on December 5th. And at Newton High School, it will be November 21st, if your child is interested in taking the ASVAB. Are there any additional questions or comments or feedback?
How
Also
do they
on
go
our
about
website,
registering?
newtonccr.com, you all can book time to meet with us if you need some one-on-one assistance or your child. That is also an option as well. Scholarships vary. They can be for technical college or you said or junior college. The scholarship is going to usually state what the money can be applied to. Sometimes it'll say if you're earning a bachelor's degree, meaning if you're going into a college or a university, or it'll say if you're seeking a trade. I know there are scholarships for trade schools. I know Snapping Shoals has a scholarship if your student is interested in becoming a lineman. They offer a scholarship that actually just opened on Monday. So there are different scholarships. They vary in how they award their money. To sign up for the ASVAB, they need to see their counselor, the 10th grade counselor. Let me see if he's at Newton High School. No, and Newton is the senior counselor. So he would need to see Ms. Selichek to sign up for the ASVAB. Any additional questions? As you think of things, please feel free to reach out to us or your college advisors. But we're always here as a resources to assist. We thank you all for coming out this evening and taking the time. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. And if there are no further questions, we will end the, you're welcome. We will end the meeting.